Hello guys, so welcome to today's tutorials, and today we are looking at, as today marks the first day of our graphic design course, we are looking at the introduction to the Pixellab, an app we'll be using to do most of our graphic design works in designing our flyers and then all that. So quickly, let's jump into our lesson today. So with the Pixellab, if you don't have the app yet, you can go to your Google Play Store and then search for Pixellab and then download it. So Pixellab, and then we download it. So this is how the icon looks like, the Pixellab, the blue with the P in the middle. So I already have it, so I open it. So if you don't have, you just download. So when you open or you download for the first time, you realize that always when you open it for a fresh start, you have this interface over there. This is our workspace where you see the green, where you have the green background. Yeah, so that's our workspace. And by default, this is what comes when you open it up. This is what comes. So the Pixellab has some features in it, and we want to look at it. Let's start from the top where we have the plus button sign over here. This plus. Yeah. So what does this plus do? Anytime we hit on this plus, we receive another option. We get the text option, the current date, the sticker, the shapes, then we have from gallery, and then the draw. So with the text, if you want to type in anything, or you have a text you want to type, you hit on the text and then you type it. So if I have anything, the moment I hit on the text, this new text appears on our workspace or our design space. So this is what we have as our new text. And then if I want to write anything, I can just double tap this text and then I'll be able to edit it. Right, good. So let's see day 1. So I have this, I just edit it as this day 1. Sorry. So day 1, and then I hit my okay. So this is what I have here, day 1. So that's how I edit my text. From there we have current date. The current date gives you the date, the particular date, or the date you are working or you are making the design. So over here I have 4th of January 23. That is the current date I have over here. And then the next one gives you an opportunity to have a group of stickers to select from. So by default, when you hit on the stickers, this is what you receive, the first one. This first one's option, this sticker is not found in the sticker options that displays at the bottom here. So anytime you hit on it, this is what comes first, and you can use it or edit it based on the design you are using. Or if you want to select any sticker from the ones shown below, you can just select them. So we have different stickers we can choose from. Let's continue. Then we have our shapes. Now this shape is a very important tool that we will be using in most of our designs. It's very important, this shape, because most of our designs will be applying shapes and then having the producing out effects with these various shapes. So by default, when you hit on the shapes, this is what comes. It comes as a triangle, a rectangle, or a square. Anyhow it comes, but you can edit it. You get it? And these are the options you are given to edit it. So from the options, the first one here, when you hit on it, gives you a list of shapes. You have the square, the rectangle, the circle, the polygons, and then the others. Good. So you select the one you want to select, and then the radius. The radius is used to edit the edges, you get it, of that particular shape. So you realize that as I increase the radius, the edges of the shape increases. And then we have the opacity. The opacity refers to the color, the intensity of the color applied to that shape. And then here we have color and gradient. So anyone you want to apply, if I want to change the color to purple, orange, any of them, black, I do that. If I want to also use a gradient color, come to gradient, select my gradient, then it fills up our shape as well. Then the stroke of width. So the stroke width is your width of the stroke. So as I increase, you see that the stroke around the shape increases as well. And then we have the opacity also for the stroke width, so the intensity of the color you want to see. And then we have also the color for the stroke width, so you can either use a color or a gradient. Let's say I want to use a color of white for my stroke width, you get it. So this is my stroke width that I see, and then I have the white color. I can change it to any color of my choice or preference. And then we also have an option for the gradient to use in the stroke width. So the stroke width, you can also use a gradient. So as I change the various gradients we have here, you see that it is what is being applied to the width. And then also, if you don't want to use any of the colors provided by default, you have this plus signs behind beside our colors, where you can edit and make your own color. So for this gradient, if I want to change the colors I want to use, so I just tap this side to select my first color. I also tap this side to select my second color. In the upcoming videos, we'll be looking at how to apply gradients to our various colors. But this is how you change the colors if you want to edit or change your color. You don't like the one given to you. So as you tap on it, you just hit this paint button here to select a color, and then this color cycle appears, and then you select your color. Let's say I like blue, so I choose blue. After choosing my blue, then this first bar is just like you choosing the color, so it gives you the intensity of the blue. So you see that as I increase it, the blue color at the top here, at this place, realize that as I increase my blue, it's changing, you get it. And then also here applies to how dark the color is becoming. So as I do that, and then here how transparent. So that's how I select the colors. Then when you finish with the selection of the color for the first one, you come to the second part here. So you click on that handle you want to change the color, and then you switch, then you press OK. You go to the color wheel, you select your color, and then you make your changes there. Very good. Then you press OK. So this is the color, the gradient color I've applied. So here we have blur radius. Blur radius refers to how you want to blur up your radius. So you realize that as I increase the blur radius here, as it goes this way, it becomes sharp, and then you increase, it becomes blur. So that will be it for the first plus. Now the second option here, this icon here is for saving your documents or for saving your works. So this icon here, which is for saving your works, if I want to save a design like this, as I have done, I've designed, let's say just this, I want to save it, I hit on it, then I get two options: save as project and then save as image. When you go to save as project, it will be saved, that project will be saved on the Pixellab. So anytime you want to edit or change, when you open the Pixellab, you choose that project and then you do your editing. But when I go to save as image, it is being saved as an image into my gallery. So let's try the save as project. You will require to input a project name. So let's say day 1 lesson. Good. So this is my day 1 lesson. It has been saved. And then the Pixellab can be used offline.
You can download this
as
app,
well as
once
your data is on, you can use it. But it's advised to always keep your data off whilst using it, so that you know you're receiving these ads anytime you save your documents. You get it? So whilst your data is off, when you are using it, you don't get to see all these ads. Let me turn off my data. So that will be it for the save option. But when I come to the save as image, it gives me options to save it in a format that I want. So whether I want a JPEG or I want a PNG. Now the JPEG means no transparency. Means if your work that you are working with, whatever background you pick for that work will be appeared in it. But if you choose PNG and then your background, you have made it to be transparent, then your work will have a transparent background. You get it? And then we have the quality also. So the quality we have from default, custom, low, and all that. But it's always advised to choose ultra because you want to get the best quality for your work. So you choose ultra and then you hit on the save to gallery, and then your work is being saved into your gallery or your photos, and then you go there to view it. So let's continue. Now we are done with the save option. This is the share icon, so you can share directly from the Pixellab. You get it? You can share directly from the Pixellab. So let's say I select ultra and then let's say JPEG, then I want to share. So if I want to share, the image will first be saved and then I'll be asked options to share from. So that is it. And then we have these two codes. These are just, it has the Pixellab has inbuilt codes that you can just use. Maybe you don't, for example, you don't have anything to design, or you don't have anything to write and you feel like just come in there. You come and then when you hit on the two codes signs here, this, it just gives you some codes you can use. So this one says, if you want to conquer fear, don't sit home and think about it. Go out and get busy. So these are codes that has been counted. If I want to edit, I double tap it, then I edit it. However, whatever I want to write in addition, let's see, let me add something like, okay, let me leave it that. I don't have anything to add to it. So that is it. And then we have these three buttons options. And now with these three buttons options, you have use image from gallery. The use image from gallery, you realize that for this plus, the three button here, this three button, and also this plus button. This plus button. When you hit on this plus button also, you realize that you are going to get from gallery. But here we have use image from gallery. The use image from gallery here is the image that will automatically be imported as your background when you are using these three dots. But where the plus is, that one, it comes in as an image where you can move it around. But when you use image from gallery, let's try that. So use image from gallery, it opens my gallery for me. Let's say I select let's say I select an image. Let's see, for example, like this, into this. You realize that what happens is that image now has become my background. You get it? The image I just selected. Very good. But let's say when I hit on the plus from gallery and then I move into my image, and then let's say I select the same image. This is the image I selected. You see, it comes as an image that you can just position anywhere you want on the workspace. You get it? So that's the difference. So when you are choosing from here, you know. And then when you want a full screen also, this is it. So you go to the various options there. We have export image. You want to export the image just like you want to save it. So I want to export the image. It's just like the save we saw. And then tutorials, contact reports, remove ads, and all that. Recover, auto save, open PLP files, about, and then exit. Now the Pixellab stores its file as That's this project as PLP files. So if someone maybe sends you a PLP file, means you can edit that PLP file in your Pixellab. You get it? For those of us who use Photoshop in designing, you realize that we have the PSD file for the Photoshop, but for Pixellab is PLP files. So here also this, let's come down. So over here we have this pencil icon here. You have this pencil icon here, and then with this pencil icon, it's just like when you hit on it, you have options. Here we have, this is a copy icon. The first one is a copy icon, and then we have next to the copy icon, we have the size, or it helps us edit the size of that particular item or image. So you realize that when I hit on it, I've gotten an options here to edit my image. You get it, in terms of the size ratio. And then we have here, this is the position. When you hit on the third one, we have position. So whether you want to position far left, far right, the middle, you get it, to the up, to the down. Very good. And then here, the one next to the position is our rotation. So you want to rotate the image 20 degrees. And then the next one is to back. So you want to send the image, that's to front. You want to send the image to front. Let's say you have different images, so you select a particular one. Now you want this one to come in front. So this one, as you select it, this one is to front. You bring the image front, and then this one is to back. So you realize that as I hit on the to back, it has gone behind our tests and all that, stickers and all that. You get it? But when I hit on my to front, it comes in front of them. Very good, take note. And then this is the undo symbol. So all what I've done, I can be undoing them. You get it? Undo. That's it. And then this plus symbol is for zooming our project or the work we are doing. So if the moment I hit on the plus, I cannot work on this workspace anymore. So I just can zoom it. So if I want to work on it, I have to hit on the plus again. So if I hit on it, I can zoom it to the highest resolution you can zoom to is 500%. So you realize that I am able to zoom the image or the work I'm doing. I'm able to zoom it, and it's very helpful, especially when you are designing. So if I want to work on it, unless I disable the zoom before I can work on it. And in here we have the grid. The grid is also an important tool. When you hit on the grid, it shows up the lines or grid lines, which helps you in designing and especially aligning your works. And then the next one, we have the layer option. Now Pixellab works in layers, just like the way Photoshop also works in layers. So if there is a particular layer and is on top of one, that is what will be shown. You get it? The next one will be behind it and all that. So these are our layers that we have here. These are the layer column. These are layer column. These are layer columns. So you see, you have the layers here. So all the images and all that I have, these are the layers here. Now we are done with the top. Let's come back. Let's come to the down. Now when it comes to the down, we have my projects. My projects. Now with the my projects, any project you do is being saved. That is, if you save it. If you don't save it, you might lose your work. So it's advised to save your work as projects the moment you finish or as you make progress. So when it comes to my project, all the projects will be done over here. So I just downloaded the Pixellab not long ago. So I have the one I saved earlier. Now, and when you are hitting on the project, you see there's a confirmation. Are you sure you want to open the project? Any progress will be lost. So the moment I hit on yes, without saving, since I have not saved the one I currently have, I'm going to lose it. So let me cancel and then save it, this one, as a project. Let's say I'm saving it as day 1, day 1.0. Good. So I've saved it. Now when I come to my project, it has been added to the project list. So the moment I hit any of them that I choose, that is what appears. So this is what appears. That is what appears. So you select your project. Now the next to the project is your background. Now with this part, we have the buttons below. This one, you're looking at this one. Now this is for our background. So whatever we displays when we hit on the 3 circles that have been putting together, whatever displays is for our background. So the moment I choose any of this part, you realize that our background is changed. You get it? So that part is for our background. This A part is for our text. So our text, this A. So if you want to add a text or edit a text, you just text. You realize that you have a new text display here. Then I want to edit whatever I want to write, add, okay. And then as you hit on the text, you'll be given options to edit a particular. So you have the style you want to use for the text, or if you want to save the text, or you want to browse out a particular text and then use. And then we have the edit, we have the delete. You want to delete the text. So when I hit on the delete, it's gone. You realize it. Then the copy. If you want to copy a text, it's being copied. Always is copied to your far right at the top here, and then to front or to back. We saw that at the top. Then positions of the text. When you hit on positions of the text, and then you begin to move it in the direction you want to put your text. You get it? That is one way. So this bar is just for increasing the movement. So if you want it to move bit by bit, you get it, and then you want to increase the speed at which it moves. So that is how it. Then the relative position gives you the various positions that easily helps you. So we have the center, far right, far left, the center, then we have the middle, we have the top, then the bottom. Good. Then we have the text size. If I want to increase the size of my text, if I want to reduce it, so good. And then left paddling. Now you want to increase the space left at the left side of your text, or you want to increase the space at the right side of your text. So at the right side of my text, at the left side of my text, on the right side. So that's for the padding. You want to change the color of your text. So when you hit on the color, you have the color and then the gradient. So anyone you prefer. So if I select this, the color changes, this, the color changes. So you realize that you're having some slight change in colors as I select them. You get it? Because of the kind of text I'm using, that's why you're not seeing it. But let me add a new text. Okay, let's see this, and then I have my color. So that is changing. So anyone you select, if you want to apply a gradient, you do same. Very good. Let's continue. Then we have texture. Now you want to import a texture into a text, just like an image into a text. So you hit on the texture button, texture option. After hitting on the texture option, just hitting on it, it will take you into your gallery. So when I hit on it, they'll ask me no texture selected, and then I hit on the blue part, and then it takes me into my gallery, and then I select a texture I want to use, or the image that I want to import into my text. So for example, let's say I want to try out I don't have any particular image, but let me see go to my downloads. Let's say I want to try out this colors into my test. You see, the moment I hit on it, it has been just entered, or it has been imported into the test. You get it, into the test. So I can scale it up here, and whatever edit I want to do, I do it. You get it. It's a very helpful tool. And then we have the opacity for the test. Want to increase the opacity, reduce the opacity, increase, reduce, anyhow you want to do it. The rotate to rotate the test. We have masking. Now we'll do more, or we'll go much into the masking as we will be looking at the Bezier tool. So when we get there, we'll be looking at it. So the masking is also a very nice feature that we'll be looking at. We'll look at all these options. Then we have the fonts. So the font you want to use, Pixellab comes with some default fonts in them, but you also can import your font, because sometimes the work you'll be doing, you will need very nice fonts and very, very professional fonts. So you have to import them into the Pixellab. So there you come to my fonts. I have some fonts here already installed that I use for my work. So if you want to know how to install a font, I'll be making a video on that also, and then we'll look at it. So this is where you select any of the fonts you want, you choose, then as you choose it, press OK. That is what appears here. So I choose this. Okay, let me select another font. Okay, so see, I have it here. You get it. The reason why you see that the bottom of my text has been chopped off is because of the masking tool I went to hit. So that is what has caused this. But anyway, as we continue, we'll look at them. And then we have the style. From font, we go to the style. If you want it to be bold, italic, underline it anyhow. So the last option is cancel style. So any style you have applied will be cancelled. Okay. And then we have the curve. You want to make the text in a curve shape. You get it? Yeah. So you apply it as such. And then we have the background. The background also is just for controlling the background of your text. So if you want to select any background you want to use for your text, you select it. You get it. So for example, say I want to use this background for my text. I want my text to have this background. And then we've seen the right and the left paddling. So you see, as you push the left paddling, it moves or it stretches out the left side. The right paddling stretches out the right side of your background. The top stretches out the top side of the background. And then the bottom as such. And then the radius, the edges. So we have the radius. The radius controls the edges of your background. Get it? So that is it for the background side. And then we have alignment. Alignment, we have the left alignment, right alignment, and then the center alignment. And this mostly works very well when you have a group of texts or a sentence or a group of texts that you are working with. And then we have the justify, which is also important. And then we have the spacing. So if you want to spacing of the letters, before we have spacing of words. So you can select the words and then space. You realize that new is a word, test is a word, and it's been spaced out. But when you hit spacing of letters, see, it's the individual letters that are spaced out. Good. And then we have line spacing. So with the line spacing also, if you have two or more texts and then they are in different lines, that is where it's mostly effective. So you realize that the previous lines will be spaced out. You have stroke. If you want to apply a stroke to your text, so you see, so you select whether you want to use a color or a gradient, and then stroke weight. So as you increase the stroke weight, the weight is increased. Very good. And then we have the shadow. Apply a shadow to the text. There's a shadow, and then the opacity. That's the intensity, how high or low you want it to be, and then the color. So you've seen for the color, you choose any of them you want to use, and then the opacity. So I increase the opacity small, blur, reduce my blur radius. And see, I select a color like this. That's it. Inner shadow. So you want to put a shadow inside the text. You want the shadow to be seen inside the text. You get it? You see, as I move, it's been changed. Very good. Then we have the emboss. You want to make the text to be an embossed text. We'll look at how to apply the emboss also. You see, as I use the emboss, it has been distorted. Yes. So we'll be looking at how to apply the emboss to our various tests. There is a little strategy you need to know. So as we continue, look at perspective also. You want to position it in a way that you like. Get it? So any perspective you want to position your test is allowed. Let me delete this test. It has become distorted too much. So I delete this test. Let's use this one. So from the perspective 3D rotate, you want to rotate the test 3D wise. You get it? Then we have 3D test. You want to make the test a 3D test. So we have the perspective and the oblique, and then the depth of the test, as well as the height of the test. Let me do my 3D rotate wall. Okay. So let's see what I'm talking about. So when I hit my 3D test, select perspective, I get the depth. You see, as the depth is increased, decreased. So the depth color, then I want it to be darkened a little bit. So if I want to select a depth color for the test, I select. So we have how to, with the 3D test also, we have the rotation, whether you want to rotate it in the Z angle. So there too, we have the 3D rotation. We have the lightening, how you want to apply lightening, and then the intensity of your lightening, then shadows, want to apply shadows, then specular hardness. All this are inclusive. And then 3D shadow. This is the 3D shadow. 3D shadow. So you want to apply a shadow to your 3D test, blur radius, anyhow. What we do it, expand, reduce. Then we have the text reflection. So the text reflection also gives you a reflection of the text. See, so the text has been reflected downwards. So anyhow you want it to be. Now let's go to the next one. This is the polygon symbol there. The polygon symbol, so we have the stickers which we saw up there, and then we have import. Now you want to import a picture or whatever, or you want to bring in a picture or an image from your gallery, you can use the import option. Very good. You can use the import option. Now as I imported, I've been given options to edit this picture. However, you are at liberty to do whatever you want to do with the picture. So let me take it. Then we have draw. If you want to draw, use your hand to draw anything. Get it? Pen size, you can increase the pen size. Smoothness, you can look at the smoothness. Fill, all these options, neon effect, dash lines, fill inside. They are all here that you can look at them. So let's continue. Then we have the shapes. We saw the shapes at the plus option. We also have it here. It's the same thing here. The same thing. And then we have the bezier. The bezier is a very important tool that we'll be using in most of our design works. And as such, we'll be looking at, I'll be making a video on only the bezier tool. So let's continue. Then we have our arrow to help us know to give us options, just some arrow images. You get it? Just some arrow images. Then from there, let's go to the next. The next one is for image. So if you want to edit an image, crop an image, add the color, but it's mainly the background. So it's just like it applies to only our background. So the color, when I hit on the color, the moment I choose a color, it's my background that is changed. You get it? If it's a gradient, it applies to it's my background. Then we have transparent. You want to make the background transparent, image size. So you can set the size also for your work. Let's say I'm doing 2000 by 1500 height 1000. This is what I get. You get it? You set the image size. You want to crop it. That is when you have a background, you want to crop it. You get it? Then let's go to the image. We have some images in our background tab where you can select and use them. Images in our background tab. So you can select any of them and use them. Then from gallery, just like you want to import a background from gallery. So let's say I choose any picture or any image here. So that is our background now. Then from camera, so you want to take a picture and then for that, use that one. Let's go to the last side. The last section of this is also an edit option where you can rotate your background from here. Then vignette, all these applies to our background. You want to apply some level of vignette. Vignette actually helps you to pop out light from the middle of your background, so you see what is happening here. As I select the color and then apply my vignette. Then noise. So with the noise, like that there's some kind of distractions on your background. So you go through them. All these are previous options that you can use to edit your background. Backgrounds are very important. Brightness. So we look at brightness of our background. Strips. We realize that we have some strips developed in our background. And all that you want it to repeat. You want to increase the number, reduce the number. Then we have contrast. Contrast for our background. We have the hue, a very important tool also that helps so much to change things in our background. We have saturation. Saturation is also like the intensity. So that will be it for the features of the Pixellab. So we will continue our next lesson with how to design our first flyer in the Pixellab. Thank you.